this is one of your guys' suggestions. It is a Grand Thumb video. There it is. So this is a Grand Thumb video. I am not familiar with Grand Thumb's stuff. I do know that he's like a gun guy. I know he's a gun guy. I haven't really watched any of it. So I'm guessing since you guys are so fired up, I guess I'm probably going to enjoy it. So let's check this out. The UNSC just adopted a new battle rifle, the BR55. So let's check this out. I'm guessing this is a Halo thing. So maybe someone made the actual... Bang, 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 bang. Okay, let's check it out. And kaboom.
Get to the truck! Get to the truck! Go, go, go! Go, go! Hey, Charles, on the truck! Charles! Hey, we got one down! Sergeant, just with the gun.
They supposed to be Spartans? I mean, the helmet looks Spartan. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's supposed to be potato based on the helmets, but granted, they're a small channel. Maybe they couldn't afford actual... Do the ODSTs actually look like this with their armor? I'm not... I played, like, Halo 2 a long time ago. So I haven't played any of the current ones. Okay, if that's what these actually look like, okay. You mean the TV show, Satkin? No, I did not watch the Halo TV show. Yes. Okay, small spurts. Okay.
Hey, we need to get out of here right now.
Where's the chief? Oh. Okay, 13 hours earlier. Okay. Is this ketchup? What is this? Anybody know what this is? Are these supposed to be flares? And potato anything would be better than the shit that Paramount put out. Are these flares? Is that what this is? Okay. My first much saw is I thought this was ketchup. Like tubes of ketchup. Yeah. I gotta say, this looks awkward as fuck. It looks nice, but it looks awkward as fuck to hold. This looks like such an awkward grip to me. But, I mean, that could just be me. I'm used to a traditional holding of a rifle, this part looks fine. He's able to pull it to the pocket of his shoulder nicely, and he's able to have a nice eased bend in the elbow. But that looks so uncomfortable. Yeah, right. Like for me, like the hand should be gripping here. The hand should be gripping here. To grip it this way would feel incredibly awkward to me. And it's a bullpup. There, see? This, yeah. Now this looks better. Okay, this is how it should be held. So, I Sergey. Yeah, that's how it should be held. Okay, that definitely looks better. Alright, so I thought that the way what's his name was holding was the way it was supposed to be held, but no, it looks like you can actually grip the handguard as the traditional stance. The cheek wheel, I gotta get an overall. The cheek wheel didn't look terrible.
This is Carly Fries. I'm here at the ODST training facility on Reach, and I'm going to discuss the new weapon system. Lieutenant, would you mind telling me a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Lieutenant Jones, UNSC, ODST Detachment 7, we're one of the Reiki teams. BR55, Charlie, you have a lot of experience with it.
Yep. See, we used to use these caseless SMGs here. Man, they're really
Wow, does this look jank? I need him to hold it up, but Jesus.
great. We used to just shoot these grunts with them, but you keep dumping into them, and they just say, "Stop shooting me," and it's.
Yeah, I really don't like how they speak English. I had to go to the UNSC psych because I don't know, I'm on SSRIs now.
Yeah, hopefully you can get a rating here soon.
But the BR55 is a 9mm Kurz round, 800 meter range, and we'll get.
Which rifle, Sergey? This one here? This rifle here? Is that what you're talking about? Because, like, this looks jank as hell. Yeah, I'm thinking this weapon is probably real. This one, they obviously just cobbled together as a joke. That's why it's got dog tags hanging off and like a battery pack. But this one looks like it's a legit rifle. Yeah, the battle rifle looks like it's legit.
Go ahead and head out to the range. We've had a lot of time on it so far. It's going to end up replacing the assault rifle, and we'll likely augment it with our caseless SMGs, although they're a lot quieter. But we'll get more into it. But I say we go ahead and we load this thing up and we get going.
Wonderful. Let's do that.
Oh yes, Sergey. I'm very familiar with bullpup rifles. Absolutely.
We have the BR55 right here. We're gonna have a sergeant who's gonna go ahead and demonstrate it for you. Compared to the caseless SMG, a lot louder, ejects brass, and then you have a 9mm projectile. About a range of 800 meters, but we found in practice closer to 600. Would you agree with that?
That's about right.
There's some problems with the barrel and twist rate and the specifically the contour. We're talking to the UNSC about that right now, but if you do get your hands on this, wherever you may be, just understand that the range is a little bit more limited from what the UNSC is telling you.
Wow, 600 meter range? That's not great. That's honestly not great because if I'm not mistaken, isn't the M16 maximum effective range 800 meters? If I'm remembering correctly? What's it? Hang on, let me, shit, wrong one. Let me look this up. What's the mat? Is it 8 or 1200? $800, yeah. That maximum effective range for individual targets, for area targets, is 800 meters. It is 600 for the M4. So, not as bad as I thought. That's about the same range as the M4. So that's actually about the same range as the M4. So I can't fault it for that.
Go ahead, take it away.
Or not. Clear.
Awesome. So now that we've done a little bit of shooting for you.
This looks like it's a little too bulky. The buttstock is okay, Talos. The buttstock was looking a little bit bulky, and this looks uncomfortable. You shot the AK? Okay, well, AK, I mean, Sergey, the AK is widely regarded as one of the best rifles in the world. One of the best and one of the toughest rifles in the world. I've seen numerous gun guys that do videos, and every one of them loves the AK. It's like everybody loves the AK because it is one of the most reliable rifles in the world. So, I don't doubt it. And hi, Babyliner.
Seen a lot of shooting. We're gonna go ahead and sit down with this, talk to you about our practical experiences with it, and explain what's good about it, what's bad about it. Lieutenant Jones here, talking about the BR55. This is going to be a practical use. We've had a lot of time on this weapon with our ODST battalion and with the recce squad. You're going to start seeing these filter down quite a bit. For those of you who have a lot of time on the MA series, whichever one it might be, you might be pretty reliant on either your eyepiece for targeting, or if you're newer, the Neuralink targeting systems. We would highly recommend against that. I hate to start it this way, and I know there's some controversy about talking about this, but there's a lot of electronic and Neuralink warfare going on. There's a lot of disruption systems that are in place. We highly recommend moving away from that. So to start off with, we actually have removed most of that circuitry that has Neuralink technology and that Neuralink link.
Siri, I'm gonna disagree about the 16, at least in modern day. It's gotten better. The M16 and especially the M4 has become a lot tougher and is able to handle scrap being thrown at it better. So it's like the old M16 is like the old M16A1. Sergey, you're right. The old M16A1 was bad for jamming up. The A2s were getting better. The A2s were getting better, and the current M4s are really good about being able to fire in all sorts of conditions, in all sorts of, you know, all that stuff. No, Babyliner, I don't. I used to, and then I moved, and I couldn't bring them with me, so I had to sell them. But I used to have a couple of firearms. Oh, well, technically I still do. I've got a couple of Civil and Revolutionary War muskets about 10 feet behind me, but they're obviously antique and non-functioning. So, technically I still do. And yes, no, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, the modern day M4s can take a lot more abuse and still keep shooting versus what the N16A wants. Snowman, they're muskets. They're fucking muskets. Of course they're non-functional. And not to mention, one of them's practically falling apart at this point. I've got to keep them in, like, special bags just so they don't die.
Link with the eyepiece removed. Highly recommended if you haven't run into Covenant before. It can really mess up your back.
Oh yeah, but to answer the question that I didn't answer before, yeah, so I used to own two handguns. I used to have Sig P220, Sig P229, single double, and I used to have a Kimber Ultra Carry. But again, I moved, and so I had to sell them. I couldn't bring them with me. So
Battle tempo and your battle rhythm, move away from it as a whole. Because of that, you'll notice that we've mounted an optic. I think that's the oddest thing that everybody sees when they see the BR55. They ask, why is there an optic on it? The reason for that is we've gone to a more passive style of electronic warfare. This is a much harder targeting system to jam, and because of that, we tend to stick with this. So, it's what we're going to recommend, but depending on your sphere of warfare, it might change a little bit. This is the 2X. There are a bunch of different optics models that you can put on there. Charles, which one do you mostly use?
Same one.
2X is where it's at. This is what we typically recommend.
Does anybody know what internals they used for this? Did they use the internals from an AUG to make this? It certainly looks like it based on perhaps on the muzzle. So was it probably an AUG that they used and they kind of put a shell around it, I wonder? I'm really curious because I have no idea if they're going to say or not.
Man, it's just enough magnification to get you to the ranges you need to get to. Again, we say 600 meters in practice. This is what we generally recommend. Lots of different mounting solutions for you out there. Battery life depends.
Yeah, but range is the foul. I don't remember, is the FAL a bullpup? Because I don't think the FAL is. The FAL is a front mag, not a bullpup, and this is a bullpup rifle. So I'm more inclined that this is probably an AUG. Yeah, oh, bolt liner? I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I'd love to get to try out an AK for sure.
We're between, from our simulations, between 5 to 10 years, depending on where you got your battery from or what century it's made from. That's what we're going to recommend. We're going to move up to the barrel now. There's a lot of problems here, but we're going to start with the good. The best thing about it is going to be the flash hider. There was a lot of talk amongst ourselves when we were moving over to this rifle, mostly because the caseless SMGs are so lightweight, and more importantly, there is...
What the hell is this? Now this doesn't look quite as jank, but this not real, is it? This isn't real, is it? Okay, it's a hunk of plastic. That's what I thought. Because he pulled out, I kind of recognize it as being like the SMG that Master Chief is holding on the cover of Halo 2. I just wasn't sure if they converted something or not. Yeah.
There's no flash signature, and the sound signature is quite low. With the sound detection systems currently in place with the Covenant, we haven't found that sound signature is really making much of a difference, even with our suppressors, even running subsonic or ablative ammo. So what matters much more has been flash signature. If you'll notice that the BR55 has approximately a 3-inch prong suppressor. Couple issues there, a couple good things. First thing that's good about it is that there is zero flash. However, when you first get these, when you pull these out of the packaging, you're going to notice there's going to be a lot of ring to them. You probably notice it on this one right here. We just pull this one out of the packaging. As the carbon begins to coat those tines, you're going to have that go away. It's going to be less of an issue. That's just something that's more going to be at your ear than something that's going to actually disrupt anything as far as being spotted or being picked up by any type of other Covenant weaponry or detection systems or anything along those lines. Moving down to the handguard, this is actually housing most of your Neuralink software. We removed it, so we actually shaved a solid 1.5 pounds off this gun, bringing it down to about between the high 7s and the low 8s. That's what we're going to recommend. It also tends to make the gun a little front heavy. So by removing that circuitry, you actually lighten up the gun and the balance is much improved on it. So that is something that we're going to recommend on our end. Going up here, you do see we have vents as far as keeping the weapon cool. So with the MA series of assault rifles, they really didn't get that hot when you're firing them. And that's due to the kind of the lower pressure ammunition, just the way the barrel is designed. With these, the 9x5x40 is a extremely high pressure round, and it might be a little odd because it's a little bit smaller and shorter, but fatter than the
9x5x40. Is that what they're calling a 5.56 round? I'm not familiar with like Halo calibers, what they're calling their calibers, but I'm guessing that's what they're calling a 5.56. I'm actually I'm stuck on right now. What the hell is this right here? Is this some kind of a release for the rail? Like my eye keeps getting drawn to it. This looks, is this like, do you think this is like some kind of release for the rail mount here? Really, you think? Well, based on what he held up, what he held up wasn't didn't look like a 7.62. You think? Hang on, let me back it up. Hang on.
With these, the 9x5x40 is a extremely high pressure round, and it might be a little odd because it's...
That's 5.56. That's definitely 5.56, which, I mean, obviously we're not... What? You don't think that's 5.56? Really? You think this is 308? 5... No. Hang on.
a little bit small.
Are you sure? You think that's do you think this is 308, not 5.56? Okay. It has been a while since I've seen a 5.56, like in person, so maybe my memory is a little skewed. I thought I'm thinking the 308 was a bit longer than this. I was thinking that the 308 was maybe like a centimeter or two longer than this one right here. But then it could be hard to judge. Like if I actually had it in my hand, it'd be easier. Trying to judge on a screen can be a little difficult like this. Yeah, Ty. So that's why I said that I didn't even think this would be a 308 because it seemed too short. The casing seemed too short for a 308 to me. I could be wrong, but okay. All right. Babbleiner, I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it. Yeah, yes, you're also trying to judge from the size of his fingers, but Babbleiner, I will take your word for it that this is 308 556. Okay.
Smaller and shorter, but fatter than the typical round used by the MA series. And the reason for that is they actually use a different type of propellant that, as far as I know, is still classified as far as what the makeup of it is. Suffice to say, the pressures are extremely high in this weapon. We found that the heat has risen on this quite a bit more than you'd see from an assault rifle. What that means is that you have a couple different fire modes. We stick to semi-auto. You don't want to overheat this gun too much, mostly for signature detection, because as you know, there are a lot of thermal imaging software that's being used by Covenant right now. So just make sure you're being careful out there.
I'm wondering, based on the selector switch, if this thing can even go burst fire. Okay. Okay. Yeah? Snowman? Yeah, you're right. Okay. My memory is off then. My memory is off then. You're right. That is a 308. For some reason, I was thinking if 308 was slightly bigger than that. For some reason, I was remembering a 308 being I was remembering a 308 being slightly bigger, and I was also remembering the 556 being slightly bigger than what's in the picture. So, you're right. Okay.
We have our optic rail going up to here, where we talked a little bit about that. Depending on which optic you have integrated, you have a couple different controls that you can run for a lot of the variables. You have your switches to bring it from short power to far power, or from passive aiming over to thermal. Again, just stick to the passive aiming. We don't recommend using the thermal for those electronic warfare problems. At the back, we do have a display screen that will give you your round count. It's pretty good. It's pretty reliable, in our opinion. There have been issues with the way the magazines are wired up to that display, where you can run into some problems where it's not going to properly read. In practice, we haven't been running the display on, and the reason for that is just more light. That's something we're trying to get rid of as much as possible. A lot of the armor suits, a lot of the current technologies that we're running have light.
Based on what he's saying, is so they got this weapon from someone, I'm guessing, and whomever designed this tried to make it more accurate. I'm guessing there are just certain things that are simply not possible because it's Halo. You're not going to be able to integrate everything into a Halo gun in real life. And I'm guessing that's why he's saying, like, we don't recommend using the counter, because maybe the counter isn't strict, doesn't work great. It's a nice visual touch for just the design. Like, does anybody know who made this rifle? Korean, I don't have Tarkov, and based on what they're doing to their customers, I have no interest in playing Tarkov. But thanks.
Lights, we've been trying to kill those as much as possible, so that starts with our display screen. That's something I'm going to recommend.
Okay, Snowman, thank you.
You can run it on if you really want to, but other than that, pop that mag out, take a look at your magazine, see how many you got in there. Moving back, we do have our charging handle right here. So in practice, when we are reloading, we're going to insert the magazine, and then that charging handle is going to be pulled back. Compared to
Yeah, Reeve, I kind of got that they're doing a joke with all the neural interface, and I mean I caught that. I was just thinking like of the actual design. Like these guys, like they're into this skit with the technical jargon and everything like that. I love that they're into this stuff. I am curious though about the brass tacks of the actual weapon, but Aki, you're saying that accuracy wise it's pretty shit. Um, let's find out.
Some weapons that you might have had time on before, there's no bolt hold open on this guy, and the reason for that is they don't want any type of grit, grime, dirt, covenant blood, whatever, getting in here when you're operating it. So that's why you don't have that bolt hold open. So as soon as you get that mag in, you're just going to run that charging handle every time, and it's pretty smooth. You can see right here, you can see the entire op rod right there moving. It's pretty robust, well coated. We haven't had any corrosion issues, and it's gone close to about 60,000 rounds so far without any issues. So it's something we're going to recommend. No upgrades on UNSC side. Going over controls, probably one of the worst design controls I've ever seen on any rifle. You know, safety right here. We actually haven't even been running that at all because it is so small that in practice and stiff that it's extremely hard to actuate on the fly. So if we have to have this in a position where it's ready to fire, we typically are running mag in with the chamber empty, and if we have to, we're just racking that charging handle and going into combat at that point, rather than having that round in the chamber with the safety on, or just running cowboy style, old style, and have that round in the chamber just.
Boy, they're really lambasting the Halo rifle. It's kind of funny. They're saying like, yeah, the rifle's kind of shit. Here's what you actually should do with it. I find it pretty funny.
Ready to go. Grip is awesome. If you got some really beefy hands, you might have some issues kind of getting your hand in there. Otherwise, great. Now the trigger is really incredible. Okay, feeling the trigger right there. We got about a millimeter maybe of play. We hit our wall. We have maybe a 2 pound let off from the reset. Maybe 3 millimeters forward, and that's about a ½ pound. For a marksman's rifle, this is incredible. Hey Charles, come on in here.
Yeah, Tysel, you're right.
What's the longest shot you made with this guy?
I've hit 900 meters.
How?
With this guy? Well, one, I use the optic, and two, I just hate covenant.
You got it. Our cheek piece is a molded composite polymer. It's pretty soft when you put your face up against it. I like it quite a bit. It's a really good cheek weld. If you're not familiar with that, it's putting your cheek at the correct height to look through the optic, and it's perfect for us. So you don't need any type of riser or nothing like that when it comes to this rifle. Buttstock is not adjustable, so this is something we've all run into. You might run into some problems with your armor. You're gonna have to work around it, get used to it. The magazines are definitely an issue. So the problem is this little lip right here, they want to get caught up. So you have to make sure that you apply forward pressure to make sure that it doesn't get caught on that little square right there. So as you can see, this one's working pretty good, but it can get caught right there, and then you're not going to get that magazine seated. So make sure you give that kind of a forward push when you're loading. Make sure that's seated, pull on it a little bit, make sure it's fully seated before you start getting ready to go. And the magazine release is right here. That will pop it out. It's not going to drop free, so it's not a perfect system, but it's pretty good in my opinion.
I gotta say, I'm loving how they're treating this like a real life introduction to this battle rifle. Like they're talking about all the idiosyncrasies that come to place with it, that the safety is not really all that great. Suck it, don't even use it. That the magazine load can be difficult. Watch out for, if you don't have it straight in or if you don't have forward pressure on the front end, that bottom lip is gonna catch. Like, I'm really loving how realistic and straight they're taking when it comes to examining this rifle.
I will say for the size of the round, the 9.5 by 40, that we have an extremely powerful cartridge. It's been performing extremely well. I think with some heavier barrel upgrades, maybe changing up the twist rate to being a little bit slower, we're gonna have an excellent weapon system overall. But I like where this is going. In our experience, you're
Little
about
bit,
a 1
Silver,
to 2
little
shots
bit.
through grunt and a split lip. If you can get within shield range, yeah, as long as you put one through his dome, he's down. I really appreciate the amount of power that this brings to us. I've been pretty openly critical of the assault rifle in the past, and I'm happy with the changes that have been made within the UNSC to bring the BR55 to the fleet. So as this comes out to you guys, check it out, try it out, let us know what you think. And it's always good having Carly out here.
Hey, sir, we got
Yeah, right, that's what I'm talking about. They're like applying actual gun physics to explaining all the idiosyncrasies of the weapon. That's really fucking cool. And hi, Hipshades. I'm good. We're watching a really cool video from Grand Thumb about the Halo battle rifle.
Covenant headed our way.
Something we can't handle. Okay, guys, we always try to bring you a fun video on April Fools. We're roughly on April
Hey, and
Fools,
I missed
so
what he
can't
said
handle.
there.
Okay, Carly out here.
Hey, sir, we got Covenant headed our way.
Something we can't handle. Okay, guys, we always try to bring you a fun video on April Fools. We're roughly on April Fools, so let's talk a little bit about it. This has been a project we've been working on for about, what, 3 years now, Charles?
900 meters.
So
They
we have
worked
to
on
give
this.
a big shout out to the guy who designed this rifle. He's an engineer, and he literally made a working BR55 battle rifle. It's chambered in 5.56. The operating.
I was right. God damn it, I was right. I want my fucking 07s. I was right. That's a 5.5 fucking 6. I want my 07s. I want my ups. I was right. I knew I wasn't crazy. Donk. Maybe I think it might have just been the angle, and he had it, the way he was holding his glove. That might have been why. And plus, like, it's sometimes it's hard. That's why I'm saying, like, sometimes it can be hard to tell on camera. It can be hard to gauge it when you don't like literally have it in front of you, because camera can make it look a little off. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's and that's it. The camera can mess with the scaling of it. It can.
Operating mechanism, all that stuff. If you go to his channel, he talks a lot about the manufacturing process. I'm not gonna steal his thunder when it comes to that, but it is actually seriously cool. Micah, how cool is it?
The coolest Halo April Fool's prop we've ever had. How good it shoots is
Possible
actually
comment.
incredible.
It's actually
Possible.
super.
Making actually better guns than some manufacturers.
It's like this engineer out here making a better gun than real gun manufacturers. It's all custom. Cost this guy like $60,000 to make.
Nice.
And on top of that, the magazines are obviously 10-round 5.56 magazines, but they have a little chip in them, so it actually reads the pressure from the magazine, Bluetooths it up to the computer screen right here.
Oh.
The computer screen gives you a readout of how many rounds you actually have. Now, it
Cool.
fudges it to 36 like in the video game, so it goes down by 6 every shot, but I thought it was really cool.
I did too.
He went dummy hard on this thing. Trigger is super nice. I can't say enough good things about this. He spent a dummy amount of money. We have like the coolest prop gun ever, and we're just the stupid little YouTube channel. So if you want to check him out, let me go ahead and pull his stuff up, have it on the screen. So it's going to be Brian, and his YouTube channel is B Squared Manufacturing. Yep. His name is Brian, B Squared Manufacturing. Please go check him out. Give him a follow and tell him thank you for lending us this rifle. It was super kind of him. He's been working on this for 3 years, and we can't thank him enough for letting us do this and be able to bring you something cool. Now for our costumes right here, come on in, Hastings. All right, boss, what do you want to tell everybody?
I'm Larry of Ultra Productions. You can find me on most socials under that name. I and my friend Daryl of All for 3D, we make these costumes. We built them all up from scratch, imported the models from the Reach game, turned them into silicone molds, and cast most of them in rubber. We do sell them. They are a little expensive, so if it's a deterrent, I wouldn't recommend reaching out unless
How
you're
much can I
serious.
do for $100?
You couldn't.
You get this piece right here.
You can get a consolidation.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about it.
Perfect. We can't thank you enough, man, for bringing out the costumes and everything. Brian was going to come out here, but he's an actual engineer, so he has a lot of stuff to do. But all these people came together. Carly, come on in here. All right, get out for a second.
Yeah, get out.
I'm out.
Carly, what do you want to tell us about yourself?
I'm a gun bunny, and I don't know anything about guns, really.
That's not true. You
She doesn't know anything about guns. She just knows she likes them and she likes the guys that shoots them. Nothing wrong with it.
Worked it for tons of gun. She actually designed all of our logos for Onward Research.
Yeah, I did.
Close friend of my wife, and yeah, thank you for coming out and being
Thanks for having me.
But not Mike. Only his wife.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's true. That's very true. And then of course we have Charles here. Thanks for showing up, dude.
Yeah, no problem. It was a rough couple days. I was dead for a while last night.
Yeah, that was a lot of filming.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, go grab the camera so Mike can hop in. Filmer
Slipped.
extraordinaire. What do you got to say about this project, dude?
I filmed and edited it in 24 hours.
That is actually true. We had a video releasing, and I was like, hey, can I get a video clip? And he sent me a clip of this instead. And I
Yeah,
was like,
all those-
actually, just keep doing
All
that.
those special effects, all the audio, everything was filmed the night of and edited the next morning. So
Wild work.
it was a lot of fun though.
What time? Let him know.
What time?
Yeah, what
I got
time in the
home at
morning?
like 1 a.m. I had it done by like noon the next day.
Awesome. Anyhow, guys, we try to bring you something fun every April Fool's. Hope you guys had a good time watching this one. We're gonna keep having fun. So stay tuned. More serious content coming in the future. And dad advice for you: it's okay to have fun. Okay, we're done.
That was cool. That was cool. I forget who recommended that to me, but that was cool. I liked that. That was great. So, man, you did it? Well, thank you. That was a great video. I'm glad you recommended it to me.